Welcome to another episode of the Acclimating channel. This place is still a mess. If you watched last week's video, you'll know what I'm talking about. There is lots and lots of stuff in here and it's really hard to move around. But you know what we're going to do today? We're going to take the next step with the Dutch Scape. Let's catch all of our Ember Tetras and our Otto Synclus in there. Let's move them over there. Those Ottos better eat that algae because it's the last chance those plants get. Otherwise, we've got to rip them out and pull as much of that algae out with them, and we'll start again. So stick around. We're going to shut this tank down. We're going to add new fish to the Dutch Scape, and we're going to do it right now. Okay, so you can see the tank is only half full, and I've let it go for a little bit more again, focusing. That's the reason we're closing this down. A different algae, hair algae. It kind of killed all the Monte Carlo carpet in here. This tank had a really good run for about almost 2 years now. Unfortunately that happened, so it's time to make a change. I'm going to rip these rocks out, catch these little guys, and there's a couple Otto Synclus in there at the same time. We'll get them out nice and safe, and we'll move them over to the Dutch Scape. Okay, so it's really hard to see, but we've got 7 Ember Tetras and 2 Otto Synclus. I've never seen a fish do what one of these Ember Tetras was doing. It was trying to bury itself in the soil in the corner of the tank rather than getting picked up by the net. It really didn't want to come over. But now, we're going to take our time over the next couple of hours. I'm going to be really slow with this because Otto Synclus is super touchy with going into new tanks. So I want to try and get the levels right. You can see there's like a tannin water there, with a bit of soil, and they're going into this. So what I'm going to do is just use this jar, probably up to that line. I'll fill it up with tank water, so not too much. And then I'll slowly do this, probably every 15 minutes or so, and I'll do that a bunch of times, and we'll get them used to the water before we can add them in. And then, as you can see, hopefully the Otto Synclus will enjoy that algae because they're going to have plenty of food to munch on it and join our guy from last week. Alright, I'll come back when we're ready to put them into the tank. Okay, so these guys have been acclimating for about 4 hours now, so you can sort of see roughly we're about 50% of the old tank water, 50% of the new tank water. So I'm going to pour them into this and hopefully not knock over the the net, and then we'll move them into the new tank. While Ember Tetras are like one of the hardiest fish, they definitely freak out. As you can see, that guy is right now sitting still on top of that algae. So not to be stressed out any further, and not having to move. Oh, just missed that. There's an Otto Synclus sitting in that little cave in between the plants there. Same thing, they get stressed out real easy. I'll give this probably another half hour or so, and I'll come back and try and film. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more movement, but yeah, right now, as anyone knows, when you put new fish in a tank, yeah, they take a little while to adjust. There's one of the Otto Synclus, probably the one that tried to hide for a little bit. We'll give it a bit longer as well and see if we can get the others. This can take a day or 2 days, so don't be worried if you put your fish into a tank and they all stop moving or freak out a little bit or all huddle up in one corner. Completely normal. They can settle within 10-15 minutes, or they can settle within a couple days. So let's just give it a little bit longer and see how we go. Alright, so these guys are going to probably take all night, so I'm going to turn the lights off, and yeah, we're going to have a look at these guys over the next week and see how they're going, because yeah, they're all just sitting really still. So one really good tip is turn the lights off, just let them get used to their environment without movement, lights, any sort of stress. So let's do that, and yeah, hopefully they'll all be really happy in their new home. So there you have it, the fish are now in the tank. I'm really happy. I can't wait to see if those autosinklers can get that algae down. As you notice, a lot of those plants have been growing more and more. I'm still not using as much light as I have been in the past. That's why the tank doesn't look as bright as it did to begin with. But once I've got the algae under control, I'm happy to really ramp things back up. That is not all the fish that we're going to put in there. There is definitely, I want to do some lemon tetras. I'm not going to hide it from you. I want to do lemon tetras in there, and I want to get probably another gourami or two and maybe a few more things. And that stupid bladderwort means that I don't really feel comfortable putting shrimp in there, but it's not entirely out of the question. So there you have it. I hope you guys are enjoying the Dutch Scape. Thanks for bearing with me while we've got all this mess around, while we're moving things around. There's some really exciting news coming up on the channel. In the next couple of weeks, things are going to change a lot, and for the good. It's going to be fantastic. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that button. Over 300 videos for free, and you get to hang out with all these cool people. And send me questions. I love having a conversation with you about keeping fish, and just become part of that community. Next week, we'll have another video, same time, 6:30 premiere on Thursday night. I'll see you guys soon.